Hey everybody, and welcome back to Ancient Ways for Modern Days. My name is Mike Freeman. I'm the pastor of Valley Christian Fellowship in Longview, Washington. And today, as we continue our devotional look through the New Testament, we find ourselves in Mark chapter 5. Mark chapter 5. And in fact, we're going to take a look at chapter 5, the first 20 verses, when Jesus, he encounters a man who is demonically possessed. And so I want to just begin by reading through this with you. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Here's what the text says. It says, "They came to the other side of the sea, to the country of the Gerasenes. And when Jesus had stepped out of the boat, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit. He lived among the tombs, and no one could bind him any more, not even with a chain. For he had often been bound with shackles and chains, but he wrenched the chains apart and broke the shackles in pieces. No one had the strength to subdue him. Night and day, among the tombs and on the mountains, he was always crying out and cutting himself with stones. And when he saw Jesus from afar, he ran and fell down before him. And crying out with a loud voice, he said, 'What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I adjure you by God, do not torment me.' For he was saying to him, 'Come out of the man, you unclean spirit.' And Jesus asked him, 'What is your name?' He replied, 'My name is Legion, for we are many.' And he begged him earnestly not to send him out of the country. Now, a great herd of pigs was feeding there on the hillside, and they begged him, saying, 'Send us to the pigs, let us enter them.' So he gave them permission, and the unclean spirits came out and entered the pigs. And the herd, numbering about 2,000, rushed down the steep bank into the sea and drowned in the sea. The herdsmen fled and told it in the city and in the country. And people came to see what it was that had happened. And they came to Jesus and saw the demon-possessed man, the one who had the legion, sitting there, clothed and in his right mind, and they were afraid. And those who had seen it described to them what had happened to the demon-possessed man and to the pigs. And they began to beg Jesus to depart from their region. As he was getting into the boat, the man who had been possessed with the demons begged him that he might be with him, and he did not permit him, but he said to him, 'Go home to your friends and tell them how much the Lord has done for you, and how he has had mercy on you.' And he went away and began to proclaim in the Decapolis how much Jesus had done for him, and everyone marveled." Lots happening here. This is a great story. It's a story where Jesus goes and he meets this man who's possessed by a legion of demons. Now, other accounts show that there's actually two men there. And I just want to remind us that Mark's going to focus in on what he finds is the most important details, while other gospel writers, when they share the same story, they're going to focus on the details they think are most important. But the big picture, what we see is the unfolding ministry of Jesus, the development of us understanding who Jesus is. And that's what I want to zero in on today. I want to focus on who Jesus is, and not just who Jesus is, but who God is. One of the great verses here, this actually says Mark 5:8, but I want to read verse 7. Forgive the typo, have a little mercy, have a little grace. But verse 7 says, "And crying out with a loud voice, he said, 'What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I adjure you by God, do not torment me.'" I mean, look at this incredible declaration. He says, first of all, Jesus is Son of the Most High God. But secondly, we see the declaration about who God is. And I just want to, let's consider both of the identity of Jesus and the identity of the Most High God. I mean, this demonic possession, this man is possessed, and he's not just possessed by a single demonic force. He says his name is Legion, for we are many. And a Roman legion, that would be like 6,000 men. And then we see when Jesus expels the demon, or the demons, they go into a herd of pigs, of like 2,000 pigs. And so we're talking great numbers of demonic forces that are dwelling in this man, wreaking havoc upon him. I mean, it says he's night and day. He's hollering and howling. He's cutting himself. And when he sees Jesus, he comes to Jesus and he says, "You are Jesus, the Son of the Most High God." This is important. The Bible's clear. There is only one God, but there are spiritual forces that want to rival the one God. There are other forces that want to be little gods, yet even the demon here, even this demonic cauldron of forces of all of these different spirits, even Legion, for we are many. Look at what he proclaims about who God is. God is not a God. God is not a competing God. God is not usually the stronger God or sometimes the God who has the advantage. He is the Most High. God Most High. I just want us to pause here and lift our eyes up to the heavens for a moment and remember that He's God. There is no rival. There are none who can stand in the ring against him. There is no one who can compare. There are no spiritual forces that can threaten him. And no matter how many there are, right here, maybe up to 6,000, no amount of spiritual forces can stand against God because he is God Most High. And then Jesus is his only begotten Son. Jesus is the second member of the triune God who has existed from eternity past, who has always existed. This is God in the flesh who has come here. This is the one who is begotten of the Father, standing in front of this demonic force, and this demonic force recognizes the uniqueness of Jesus, that Jesus is the Son of God. And it's amazing. This demonic force doesn't try to attack Jesus. It's like it doesn't even cross his mind. Like, Jesus, you're coming to my territory. This is where I own this man. I own these graves. This is my territory of torment for whoever comes in contact with me. I mean, this man was so strong that they could not keep shackles and chains and ropes upon him. He would break these shackles. He would break his chains. And this man doesn't try to attack Jesus. He begs. He begs. He knows that he is standing before Jesus, and he knows that Jesus has whatever power he needs to utterly demolish and destroy this man. So he begs. He begs, and ultimately Jesus casts the demons out into this herd of pigs, and the herd of pigs, they barrel down the hill to their destruction. And this is just terrifying to the townsfolk. They're amazed and they're terrified, and they too beg as well. They send Jesus away in their amazement. I think we should have a response that is not sending Jesus away, but I think we should just be amazed right now. No, Jesus is King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Jesus is the Son of God Most High. Jesus is the one that countless demons, they tremble before him, and countless angels worship eternally. We should be amazed. We should be in awe. We should have reverence toward Jesus. It's Jesus who commands the demons that shake before him. Is the Jesus who went to the cross and died for us out of his great love. And by the power of God was resurrected from the grave. This is the Jesus that we love and who loves us. This is the Jesus who we serve. This is the Jesus that we honor. And this is the Jesus that promised he'd be with us always, even to the end. If a man bound by legion, by countless demons, cannot stand before Jesus and not tremble. If these demons, if they flee at his words, listen, this changes the game for us when we face whatever situations we're going through, whatever difficulties we're facing. When we remember that we have Jesus with us, that he loves us, and even if we go through the most traumatic and dramatic situations, even if life's unfair and we find ourselves getting the short end of the stick over and over again, even if we face or overwhelming odds, we have Jesus. We can go to him in prayer right now We can know that no demonic force can overpower him, and so we are safe in his protection. Well, let's just be amazed at who Jesus is. Let's just be amazed and then honor and worship him because he deserves all glory and all honor. And let's take great confidence knowing that this Jesus, he is for us. And so let's live for him. This is the ancient way for our modern day. Remembering Jesus as the Son of God Most High, and then living confidently, boldly, faithfully for him. I hope this encourages you. I hope today you find yourself in a situation that might be a little intimidating, and you remember that Jesus is with you, and so you stand for him. You maybe boldly and lovingly share your faith today as you remember these truths. And we'll see you again tomorrow.